There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Still Halloween back there. Pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Wednesday, November the 5th. We're ready for a big sports betting day, including NBA basketball tonight. Got college basketball as well, having a good run here to start the season. It's got some NHL and some more action on Wednesday night to look at tonight, but I'm going to cover a little bit of action here right now in MMA with a little bit more news in the betting scandal that's rocked the MMA here this week, the UFC. White went ahead and commented yesterday on TMZ about those who had kind of come out and said, hey, I was approached. Hey, we were approached. There's been 100 fights out there. Where's the FBI at this point? I mean, you got him calling up. Dana's got to call up the FBI to let him know. The FBI called Dana White and said, or betting organizations called, Dana White gave out the name of the company that they use, the UFC uses for integrity purposes when it comes to, tracking that betting, and notified him of that irregular activity starting as late as 1 p.m. On fight night. And remember how we covered it here on the air, right? We just reported the news to you. You guys reacted in the chat by joining the party, if you will, even at even money odds. Everyone just piling on, believing that there was something up with the move, right? Wasn't necessarily me telling you to get involved in it. It was just something that unfolded. You guys were mentioning it in the chat before I did when it come to the irregular line movement, but it still didn't stop money from pouring in from all places, whether they were in on it or not, created that tidal wave effect. But in turn, today, White says, yesterday anyway, hey, if you were approached, why aren't you contacting the FBI, or why aren't you telling us, the UFC, right away that you're being approached? And why are you just mentioning it now out of the blue? Like you just said, hey, it's no big deal. And White even made a comparison, said, hey, if your buddy told you, hey, you want to go rob a bank with me? Hey, no thanks, I'll pass. But don't worry, I won't tell anybody about what you're up to. So just remember, before you go spouting off about, 100 fights being rigged, or these fighters, including, some that maybe some people think are close to the UFC, like Demopoulos, go off and, with a big social media following, that those fights can be named or altered. That's obviously the case here with Bulgarian, and we'll see what happens in the future here with this story. I can't wait. Very interesting, but it's not going to stop us from having a great time this weekend when it comes to the UFC, and we'll be here on the Sports Money Network with our companion coverage of UFC Fight Night here from Las Vegas with Bonfim and Brown here, welterweights going at it. That one will probably be above board, and so will the other ones that we talked about on BB MMA Picks. And we'll also have First Strike tonight. The guys will be by giving us their best bets. We're going to have a big weekend here on the Sports Money Network with UFC Fight Night from Las Vegas on Saturday. Also, it's noted PFL has announced that they were getting together with Vice TV for their latest contract, and including a couple events this year. The PFL, mostly the PFL Middle East portion of the contract, and PFL Africa, I think, will be appearing on Vice TV. So, and the little contract for those guys too. And look, mixed martial arts isn't going anywhere, but got a big black eye right now. That fight should have been stopped before it ever got to the ring, is what should have happened. White even said they went into the locker room of Gary, say, "Hey, you okay, man? Do you have an injury or something? Is there something you want to tell us?" And the fighter responded, "No, we're ready to go. Here we go." And we saw the result there on Saturday. And you guys called it, quite frankly. Hello, everybody. We got Cash Kane here ready to join us, and Nuke is here as well. Looks like you guys were talking about it before I was here in the chat. We've got Dave here today. Good morning to Dave. How you doing, my man? Good to see. What time do we? Where we are? Here we are. I know. I'm always trying to get used to my new 6:15 start time here. I'm surprised I don't get on the air by 6:30. The more you move it back, the more I'm going to be late. Hey, President's always late. Why can't I be late? Good morning to Cash Kane there. And Duke. Jerry, you called that one. Wait, Duke. But it wasn't about the offense, right? Duke, they might be the best defensive team in the country. Look out. Hit those Dukes futures now. I don't know who else we want to take at this point. Told the Bruiser brothers to wake up, and they did and got at it. Jimmy here today. Hey, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. And let's see here, a little parlay there, fading those big blue blood type schools, cashing in on some of those dogs last night. It's exciting, right? With the college basketball in play. Terrible. We had that big Monday card in these next 2 days. Just kind of, we got some games. We got some college basketball games. Everybody wants to play on opening night now. Their Panthers last night. Man, Anaheim Ducks. How real are the Anaheim Ducks, you guys? People are telling me I've got them underrated, and I have them pretty strong here. Boy, Anaheim and I don't know, maybe even the Sharks. What's going on out there? Yeah, gambling's all over. Nuke, I got an over-under on myself here in this show. Sixers were due for a loss. What a game that was, huh, guys, in the NBA last night with the Bulls? That great comeback. Man, that was awesome. When they were down 24 points, came back to win. I think it was 24. Was it 24, you guys? Final there was a 113, 111 as the Bulls came back from all the way down. Yeah, I thought we had some pretty good picks, though. Here on the show yesterday, we did have double winners, right, in the football games here on the Morning Steam. We had Ohio U talking about those trends in the big rematch there in the rematch of the MAC title game with Ohio taking it down there and covering against Miami O. And then we had the over in that Massachusetts and Akron game there yesterday. But NBA brought home some winners here on the Morning Steam yesterday. I think Bucks and Raptors, we had that one to go under. We had the Atlanta Hawks yesterday on the show as an underdog there against the Magic. We took the Pelicans to win yesterday as well. We had the Sixers, though, plus the points. That one was the borderline, right? You know what? We'll give the Bulls a lot of credit. On the show, I actually said +3 at the time. It didn't go up at 3, so you don't have to credit me a win there. I had every other winner here. Well, no, we had those winners that I just gave out, so maybe I do need that Sixer push at least, if you don't mind. And college basketball was a fun day of action here. We did have some winners, including Mount St. Mary's and West Virginia game to go under here on the Morning Steam show. We also gave out Oral Roberts and Oklahoma State game to go over yesterday. We had Duke here on the show. Yeah, it was close early, but the defense got settled in there for the Blue Devils and gave us that win there yesterday as well. Yeah, right. Say hello to everybody in the chat here. Who else? Joe W. Thank you, Joe, for your support of me and this show. Really appreciate you, brother. Always great to have you commenting in the chat with the chat all-stars as well. And Greg said the Thunder's going to run those Clippers out the door. Did they ever? Man, Thunder, but what'll happen tonight? This has got to be the biggest, toughest test for this undefeated Thunder team. Not that Portland's any great, but man, eventually it's got to catch up with you, right? You're not going to go 82-0. Got to try to find a spot here to maybe think that when is this going to end? They look absolutely great because at first they weren't even covering spreads. Now they are. And now they got to go play Portland on a real quick turnaround after a win on the road and a more high-profile Peacock game. We'll see. That one might be in the picks here. Greg says Oregon there. Got it done. Oregon. Yeah, but man, how about Hawaii getting the money? Another embarrassing night for the Mountain West Conference there with the loss by UNLV to Tennessee Martin last night. How do you lose that game? You've got a first-year coach. You bring in Pastner. You're supposed to be pretty good. My poor San Diego State is going to have a terrible rating when it comes to the NCAA tournament because this conference is so bad. But my San Diego State team did roll over Long Beach State, really humiliated them and embarrassed them out there on Monday night. All right. And let's see, Canucks here should not be. How about all these one-goal games? I mean, one-goal games are out of control right now in the NHL. Or one-goal games are up 40% already. Just judging, I think that's what I better get the stat right. I think that's what they said though. One-goal games are up dramatically. That's what we can say through the first weeks of the season here, dramatically from last year and from the same time period of last year. Big time one-goal games. And that's why you're seeing such a difference in the spread, if you will. The spread being, talking about the money line, one team, you got $1.75 favorite, and then the other team's $1.75 on the money line. I'm complaining about it like I'm, not getting a fair price. But books obviously knows what they're doing right there. Derek says the Thunder will challenge that great record. Right. They're on pace right now. You figure if you win 9 out of every 10, right, it's going to be right there. But, I will say this, Derek, and maybe the Thunder came out, they have a real good chemistry. But look, today, we already know Curry's out, Butler's going to be out, and then this will happen you're going to need to do it a few more times. So, but that Warriors, it wasn't like the Warriors record was, that long ago. You think of the modern basketball, but it's tough because of like today. I mean, it almost feels like they're going to be like, you know what? We need a little bit of rest here. We're already kicking butt. All right, Greg says, take those dogs. UT Martin there, man, Nuke. And now that was one day after Boise lost to Hawaii Pacific. Okay. Look, Greg said it was going to be 75-60, and the score was right. It was practically 75-60. It was 75-60. Go run. Let's run that back. Let's go clip that. Greg, you should put that on X and then I'll retweet it. That's sad because I should do it actually. There it is, Nuke, right? And every night we're seeing these. What did I say yesterday too, Nuke, right? If you took the regulation draw, I bet we'd probably be ahead. Just take regulation draw. And, maybe maybe you could do it in some of the bigger spread games too. But I think if you just take regulation draw, maybe in the games that are, under $2, I guess nowadays. But I guess even if you took the regulation draw in a big, heavy favorite, you're still going to get a better price on the draw too. So look for draws. And you know what? Maybe also just look for draws and look for teams that are going to overtimes and shootouts. I mean, there are some teams, they don't even have, like a couple teams, I don't even think they've been to overtime or shootout. Probably don't take them in a regulation draw. But if you got some team out there with 3 or 4 points on overtime so far, that sounds like a great candidate to get a regulation draw. Get 2 of them together, and we should be hitting that. That sounds like it's right out of the sports money playbook right there. All right. And Flyers with the win. How did we do in the NHL last night? I think, man, I couldn't miss. I couldn't miss in the NHL last night, I don't think. On the show here, we had the Bruins. We had the Bruins over the Islanders. I did anyway. You know what I'm talking about. And we had the Tampa Bay and Colorado game to go under. We had the Ducks here again on the show there yesterday against the Panthers. These Ducks, can you believe it? I mean, they are really for real. Good morning to Tariq. They're for real. I think everyone's starting to see it now, and even I fell behind a little bit, even though I know I've been mostly a positive on Anaheim. All of a sudden now it might be time to stop hopped up on Anaheim, but I don't want to. It feels too good. We had the Kings yesterday on the show. We also had Hurricanes and Rangers game to go under, and we wrapped it up with the Mammoth and the Sabres game. We had the Mammoth. We had the Mammoth. So, man, we were really clicking there yesterday. Did I get the right game there? I went out of order there a little bit. But we had the Mammoth in that 2-1 win over Buffalo. So, pretty good. Panthers are in. No, I still think the Panthers are good. I think that was just I know the Ducks really made them look bad yesterday. I have a futures on the Panthers still. I was kind of banking on the fact that I thought the price was still pretty decent with the injured players out, and those were like accounted for, but maybe overcompensated for. So I took Panthers early to win it all. I don't think they're my pick right now, but I thought the price was okay at the time. But tell you who I might be betting on later today might be the Anaheim Ducks. I don't think they'll win the Stanley Cup, but this has been it's a good young team for sure. All right, the markets have just opened, and man, it's going up. Probably had something to do with those. What do they have? Some kind of bills. I saw some kind of bulletin about the bills and everything. The T-bills or something like that. So good reaction there. All right, we'll get going here. But hey, you can get more picks from me today over at winnable.com. Watching Lerner Tien, I did send him out. Also, one note, I did send out a play earlier, and I knew that Madison Keys was really having some trouble out there, and we were going to go against her. And I think I already saw that when I sent it out that there was a chance that she wasn't going to make that match today, and she has had to withdraw from the match today at the WTA finals. And in her place, Alexandrova is playing Rybakina right now, and it already started. I immediately went to Alexandrova there. I mean, she is our moneymaker after all on the women's side this season. I mean, you can't pass, and you can put her in there. I mean, this is the WTA finals. It's not like a big surprise. You get a good, strong player in Alexandrova in there against Rybakina. The betting was a little limited because the official news didn't kind of come out there, but it was out there. And I wish I wouldn't have sent out that play that became invalid because it was borderline, and I was, like I said, I was taking advantage of Keys being sick. I don't know about knowing about her true, but she obviously did look pretty bad out there in that last match. All right, go to winnable.com/Ramon, where I do have some tennis plays out there. I'm going to come back with some basketball. I can't believe I went 0-3 in my college basketball on the Win Club after pretty much dominating everywhere else. But I'll clean that up today. I'm pretty warm here in college basketball already for sure. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off of my premium pick packages. Comes to you on your phone. It's crisp and clear. Looks pretty cool. People have been asking about, or at least this is what they claim. But the Winnable says that people like the feature with the sometimes the sports books with the best odds at the bottom of it. I don't know if any of you use that, but it is something that's built into kind of the AI here. And that's really what I'm most impressed with right now about the Winnable stuff is that AI that comes out, when you have a match. So like when I send it out here with my card and it comes out showing you, you can go to this book or that book, get a little bonus or whatever, but it also shows where you can go bet the game there at the best price. And just part of the feature there when you subscribe at winnable.com. I know the AI sometimes reads it. I like something at minus 3.5 games, and the AI comes back putting it -3. It's actually the same price if you think about it, right? It might be just a fraction off, but the money return, if for example, if I send out Anisimova at plus 3 games at -140, and it comes back plus 3.5 games at -110. Hey, that's your choice. I'm still going with that And sometimes people, when I look at some picks from Mikey or from Jeff, and hey, maybe sometimes I do want to bend it down a little bit. I want to make it better. I want a bigger return, or maybe I don't feel as confident in a play of my own, or whatever. You can, but it's still the same play. It's just the odds are a little bit different. I know that you want to go here, but when you have a premium play, you're expecting to win it, man. So yeah, sure. We all need a little bit of help. We all need to get a little bit lucky, but you got a premium play. You're expecting it to clean up. All right. Anyway, go over there to winnable.com/Ramon. And hey, if you want to win those plays from me, a little sampling of my wares, if you want to support me here at the Sports Money Network, you can go to the chat and make a comment here like my team of the chat all-stars, and you'll be entered in the drawing at the end of the show. We got 15 people in there now, I believe. Going to preview the games here. I think we've covered enough action there, unless you got some other headlines here on Wednesday. We did see some movement here a little bit in baseball yesterday. Bieber's going to stay in Toronto. Imanaga wants out of Chicago. Story's going to stay with the Red Sox. Some of the bigger names there. White Sox pick up the option on Robert. And, of course, the NFL trades were wild, but we saw New Orleans a little bit of a fire sale down there as they traded my man, Rashid Shaheed, to Seattle for a number 4 pick. Other big trades, of course, Sauce Gardner was number 1 there. There's a New York sent Sauce to the Colts for a number 1, right? And the A.D. Mitchell goes back, I think, to the Jets, right? Is that right? And also, Jacoby Myers, Raider, he doesn't want to be in Las Vegas, so he's sent to Jacksonville for number 4 and a number 6, I think. And my Chargers acquired Trevor Penning, former number 1 pick, don't forget. But Chargers, they've had to repair their offensive line so much, so they've gone after Penning here. They've had to basically change the whole offensive line this year. Amazing they've been doing as well as they have with those problems on the offensive front after their star has been out now here probably for most of the season. Second injury in just a few weeks for him. Okay. Let's get ready to do the previews here now. That's what you came for. This is what you came for. After I say hello to a few more folks in the chat and see what we got here. All right, Greg likes the Kings tonight. Thank you guys for being here. Bruce Green, hello. Nice to have you here as a member of the chat all-stars. Bruce Green, liking the Flames. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate that. Hey, somebody's got to take the Flames. All right, take Boston minus the points, Greg says. Back-to-back losses, Houston and the Jazz. Tariq says, what about the 10? So, Tariq, there was a match. It's already, I think it's gone off here, actually. But we had a pick in here on Rybakina over Keys. And Alexandrova replaced Keys. Keys was out with an injury. Keys is listed in the pick, so I'm sure anyone who might have went to the pick not going to follow through and just take Rybakina over anybody. In fact, I thought after Rybakina comes in for Keys, I kind of liked the value on Rybakina. She's up right now 4-3, but it's in the match. But Keys did not play, so just really was a no play there. It'll be a cancel no matter what, even if you got it in. Keys was a late scratch, but she was sick, and she didn't look good last match. I was kind of going against her because she didn't look at full fitness, but she withdrew, and Alexandrova is playing her right now. And I'm watching Lerner. I was going to comment on Lerner Tien. We did send out Lerner Tien. I just bet Lerner Tien, but he's up against this. I don't know. I don't want to be too. He's up against this Prince-looking dude. Anybody watching Lerner Tien against Shargui here in the tennis match? I'd call him this Prince-looking dude. he's got the earrings. It's kind of like looks like the skit from Dave Chappelle, except the guy's playing tennis. And maybe he's a little lighter skinned, but all right. Yeah. You know what? Terrell, maybe you're right about that, but I'm not down on this Sixer team right now. I mean, it's still good. That was a difficult collapse to watch. All right, AOD is here today. Thank you, AOD. And boy, wouldn't that be a turn of events? Morant to the Lakers, right? Jets and Saints are tanking. Justin is here this morning. Was watching Justin yesterday there. Also, let's see. Laker boy, hello. And Magic Raptors was money, Magic garbage. Let's go to the big NBA card. Let's just get started because we've got such a big day of NBA, and we got to get to it here while I'm watching this Prince-looking dude. All right, here we go. 76ers and the Cavs to start us off here on Wednesday. And look at that line with the Cavs favored big time here by 10 against those Sixers. Well, maybe it has a little bit to do with the back-to-back, I guess, here. Like I said, I thought the Sixers there are still just fine. I'm not going to fret about blowing a big lead like that against a home team playing strong like the Bulls. The Sixers aren't overwhelming. We know they've been off to kind of a lucky or a hardworking start. That's what they've done. I mean, they're still 5-1-1 against the spread overall, 3-0-1 against the spread as a dog. Cleveland hasn't been a good team, a good cover team here right now. Oh, man, there's some steam. Got to interrupt the proceedings here. Got some steam here real quick. We're here for it. LaSalle is getting steamed here in their matchup against Coppin State. This is on the extra board here on Wednesday. LaSalle was a 15-point favorite. They're now 16, maybe even 16 and a half here. We're seeing LaSalle getting bet here this morning on the Morning Steam Show, showing 17 and a half right now on DraftKings, 17 and a half. This thing's going up big time. LaSalle right now is getting steamed against Coppin. And, we've seen some of these pay-for-play teams get rocked. I don't know how much Coppin gets to go in and play LaSalle, but I imagine it's still a payday. I'm showing LaSalle now 18 at Circa. This thing was 15 when we started. Well, maybe it's 15 and a half, but that is official steam right there. LaSalle, it's all red. It's all red across the screen right now. And the total's moving up a little bit as well. Oh, by the way, there was one other steam play that came in while we were on the intro, and that was in the Knicks game against the Wolves. We'll touch on that one in a few moments, but the steam came in on the under there. It was under 228, and it headed down here, I think, to 227, maybe 227, maybe 227 and a half. Steam to the under with the Wolves and the Knicks. All right, so Sixers and Cavs. Cavs, yeah, they have been a money burner for sure so far, 2-5 ATS, and they've been a favorite in every game so far, just like they are today. The Sixers are playing on that back-to-back, but they're still playing well enough, even if you called yesterday's game a failure against the spread. Really, honestly, the worst you could have called it yesterday was a push, right? It mostly was a 1.5, 2. Maybe, like I said, it did go all the way up to 3, but there was some buyback. It landed right near the number. Still was for the Sixers, yeah, it was a big collapse, and maybe that will be a negative for today. Maybe it'll be a positive. They're playing a Cavs team that aren't finishing these big numbers. I mean, even on the back-to-back, maybe you have to consider the Sixers here plus these points. 10, 9.5. No Paul George questionable, but no problem. I mean, no George. We already said we don't want him beating George in there half the time. Still think those are two players you probably want to have in your lineup. I know it's easy to say no Embiid, no George, but this team has a chance to be something pretty decent if they can get all the pieces healthy and the chemistry working, right? If they're doing this well, why wouldn't you want those guys in there? Garland is questionable for the Cavs. So I don't know. I'd probably have to still try the Sixers on the back-to-back. Because of they are covering spreads and Cleveland is not. Maybe this is the time for Cleveland to go off. I mean, they certainly should be better than they are right now, just 4-3 straight up. And we know that Philly's actually won 3 of their 4 road games this season. They're 3-0-1 as a road dog. So, hey, I think, I don't know, am I in a public dog here, even on a back-to-back, trying to take Philly here? They've covered 5 of the last 6 games against Cleveland overall. 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone over, and I don't think that's necessarily wrong, although Cleveland has been a solid under this season. They're 2-5 to the under and 0-3 to the under at home so far this season, and 2-5 to the under. I said as in all their games, but Philadelphia's 3-1 to the over on the road. I'm taking the Sixers. I'll be your Huckleberry and try 9.5 points here. All right, in the chat, let's see who wants to take a chance with me on this game. Yeah, Tariq, it should be though. I mean, the opponent there will not be. And there goes Prince. Good job, Prince. You gave it a good effort there. Lerner Chin, I do believe will cover that game spread. I'm not sure. Okay, Greg says Cavs here to cover. Yeah, he's got the Cavs to cover. Good morning to Art Tops. And Sixers are too tired. Take them first half, and then they'll run out of gas. Take them to come out there. All right, Sixers in the first half for Tariq. Justin says Sixers first half already. He's already feeling the same thing. And the Sixers, that's how they ran out of gas. I guess there's what we're saying. That's why they give up that big lead. Couldn't get it done yesterday with that 24. I want to say it was 24 points, right? That's what they showed. 24-point collapse. Looking at one of those goofy charts. All right. Our Tom Sixers first half. You guys are a consensus. Sixers first half. That's a consensus. Sixers first half. Don't mind me if I just go full game. That's what I do on the morning steam. But I'd say the chat's on the Sixers first half. Well, I better put a bet on that. Can't be doubting my morning steam chat. I mean, that's what it's all about. All right, the Nets are going to be – they can't all be great games here with the Nets taking on the Pacers. The Nets are coming in looking for their first victory of the season. The Pacers have just one win. It came a couple of games ago against Golden State at home as a dog. They got it done, though. Still, Indiana, despite this poor record, is 5-2 against the spread. They've actually been a bit underrated, right? Underrated, right? They cover spreads, and they're not – they don't have a good record. It feels like they're still a good team, but they're covering the spread. So, like what it's saying here is the Pacers have outperformed the public's expectations of them as a injured team. I guess not a bad team. They've been able to fight through it and cover those spreads because they've been an underdog in every game. So we know they've been injured. Therefore, they've been downgraded. They're an underdog in every game, and they're still 5-2. Now they're favored, but to me, it says, right, that we've been the public is underestimating the Pacers' ability to play. And if anything, that kind of is the Pacers' mantra anyways. I mean, they've got some great players when they're healthy. We know those guys are good, especially their superstar. And, unfortunately, we don't get to see him for quite a while, but Mathurin's certainly pretty good. He's been banged up. The whole Pacers lineup's been banged up. We know that. Now they've got problems again here. Furphy is out. You know Furphy. Quentin Jackson's out. Nemhard's still out. Or no, he is out. Yes, say still out. He's actually been okay, but he's out. Mathurin's out. Obi Toppin's out. I mean, this is hard. This is difficult, because they're so well. I think it says that they're well coached, and but here to still be favored against, and the Nets aren't covering anything. Even with this poor record, they're struggling here. But, oh, man, maybe you got to just try them here. Drake Powell is out with an ankle injury here tonight, and Porter Jr. is probable for the Nets. This one's tricky. This one's tricky, no doubt. This is what makes handicapping fun. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. Brooklyn is actually 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games against Indiana, given all those things that add up with all those Pacers players that are out and the fact that they're losing. And now you want to lay points with them. I know the Nets are not covering any spreads. They're 0-3 against the spread on the road, but at least their 2 covers have come as an underdog, despite that 2-5 record. We don't know if the Pacers can cover as a favorite yet because they haven't been a favorite. So I think I'm going to fall to the Nets here with this. At least maybe their lineup's a little bit more cohesive. Coherent. I'm not even coherent. What's that lineup going to look like tonight? Shepherd, Naismith, Siakam. You'll have Jarris Walker in there. He was good last game. Isaiah Jackson, he was off the charts in that last game. These are the guys that are doing it right now for the Pacers. And watch out, I could be wrong here, but and the Pacers, they'll probably be able to lock some of these guys down. Like you figure Tyrese Martin, he's not scaring anybody in this game. Even Cam Thomas against these guys might have trouble in this matchup. The only guy I really like here is Porter, probably. He'd probably be the only guy on the Nets I'd look to go over with, but I'm going to try the Nets here. I've probably lost money with them this year, but maybe just because the Pacers 6-point favorite. Come on, it's even 6.5 here right now. Maybe this is the blowout spot for the Pacers, but they still got all these guys out. They have good, these are good guys. Nobody's saying that. Siakam, although, I would think there's a tough matchup actually for Siakam, right? Going up against guys like Porter, right? Probably, and a Man, and maybe a little Claxton in there. I mean, the Nets don't do much right, but okay, here we go. Go to the chat here. I guess I'm on the Nets. Brooklyn for 9 legacy. Terrell says Donovan had a big, he's talking about the, sorry about that. Thank you, Terrell. Sorry about that if I was a little slow on the draw there. And Robert Dixon as well with his pick. Justin on the under. Brooklyn might even beat him. Be careful, says Greg. Oh, God. Okay. Cam to have a good night. I hope so for you, Terrell. I think it's actually a little bit of a tough spot. Okay. Greg says here, I think that might be a slight under. R. Toms might be with me here. And M the Great has made it, everyone, with Walker over 14.5 points. Give Walker credit. That last game was pretty good. 18 points, 8 rebounds. Hey, here's a little bit of steam if I can real quick. It's on East Texas A&M. How about that? East Texas A&M in their game tonight against New Mexico. I don't want to say that the Mountain West has just had 2 embarrassing losses here because, after all, New Mexico was like a 23-point favorite, but it's probably down to about 21 here. East Texas A&M, can I talk anybody into a little money line? Down to 20.5 here right now in that East Texas A&M taking the steam. Take Cam under his assist. He's a ball hog. Cliff Floyd is here. Fernando says Nets team total under. Take points with the dog, says Greg, and that would be why he likes Brooklyn here. Nets first half, cover the spread. Pacers should win on paper coming off that loss last time out to the Bucks. They covered the spread. Now, that's why I keep saying, Greg, the Pacers cover the spread, but they've been underdogs every time this season, and now they're favored. And they've been missing players all year. We know that, but that's what makes it so unique. Like I said, poor record. Everybody knows they're hurt, yet they still have a terrific spread record so far. So that credit the coaching, credit these other players. That's what Pacers, I mean, yeah, they can't get over the hump or whatever. They're still a pretty good team and well coached, play well together. That's what made them so incredible last year, right? All right. Cam's going to look like Russell Westbrook out there with those shots. All right, good game, a good preview. Good preview by you guys of a bad game. Probably spent too much time on it. Jazz and Pistons, another double digits. They're all double digit spreads here on the early part of the card. And now you got the Pistons favored by 10 here against the, I don't know, lowly Jazz. I don't know, Jazz are 3-4 maybe here, and they did win last time out. The Jazz so far have been a pretty good cover. They've been among the better teams in the league covering some of these games. They beat Boston, of course, last time out, 105-103, after getting blown out by Charlotte and Phoenix. But right now, Detroit also covering some numbers. They are 3-1 as a home favorite so far. Also, Utah 4-1 as a dog against the spread so far. Both teams are 5-2 to the number so far this season. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here in this game. Right now it is 232 for the most part. I got to adjust that. The spread's definitely, the total's definitely gone up here in this matchup between the Jazz and the Pistons here right now, up to 232. Okay. Probably see what you guys have on this, but let me keep narrating it here anyway and see what we can do. Talk about these two teams with a 10-point spread. Detroit is 3-1 to the over at home this season, but Utah's 0-4 to the under so far this season. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over. They meet just twice a year, but Utah's won 15 of the last 18 games against Detroit. It's not like Utah. I mean, that's 9 years of play, but still, Utah hasn't been that bad for that long, maybe, but maybe they have. Detroit was equally as bad here, and maybe they've been getting better here over the last year or two, while Utah definitely has been kind of stagnantly bad, not ready to take the next step despite some good players. Walker Kessler is out of the game here tonight. Other injuries include Isaiah Collier, he's questionable. For the Pistons, Sasser is out, and Tobias Harris is out as well, so that's key. All right, that total is going up, man. It's kind of the direction I kind of want to go. I'm going to go over still, even with that increased number as my morning steam play here. I'm going to take the over with Utah and Detroit. Going to pay a little tax there, but I'm going to go over. Both teams are 3-4 to the under, but like I said, Detroit is 3-1 to the over at home. I'm going to go with the over in this one as my play.
Steam play.
Got some steam coming in here right now, and it's in the game between Maryland Eastern Shore and Georgia. Seeing this one get steamed to the under here right now. It was 144.5, but this one is all the way down here already to 141. So get on it. You might be able to squeeze in a little bit of CLV here still. This one's kind of slow to move. It was 144 down to 141 here, 3-point move. Maryland Eastern Shore and Georgia. It's Georgia, open 29. They're now 34 in this game. And I don't know, out of the games we've seen so far of these 5-point moves, they've still kind of carried it. We saw it there yesterday as well with, let me see if I can look and find it here real fast. Purdue did not get there on that increased move, actually. All right, let me keep going here with the comments on this one. Indiana getting points, good. Giving points, bad. I think that the Jazz, maybe for Justin, it's kind of hard, to get the confidence up with the Jazz, it feels like. But like I said, they are 4-1 as a dog so far. Kessler is an important player, I know. Jazz for 9 legacy. M. the Great hasn't seen the Jazz play yet. Greg's got this one. I think he likes Detroit there. All right, I think that's it for that one. I'll take the over. Wizards and Celtics are next up from Boston. You got Boston's back to losing 2 in a row here after getting some wins finally, but all of a sudden they've lost 2 straight to Houston and Utah at home. They were a dog, remember, in that game to Houston, but they were certainly double-digit favorites to Utah. Boston's just 2-6 against the spread so far. Washington's 1-6 against the spread, 1-6 straight up. This actually is a pretty bad game. Who would have thought? With Boston right now, it's still going to be a 12-point favorite, 233.5. This one's going up. I didn't see this coming. I didn't. It opened 228.5 at Circa. It's all the way up to 233, even 233.5 right now. This one's gone higher. I am surprised about that. Let's see why that's going on here. Is it something to do? Let's take a look at the injuries here at least. Middleton, see, Chris Middleton is out. Now, I know he's a pretty decent, okay defensive player, but he's out. Middleton's out. It's really the only major injury in this game, other than, the short-term injuries. Not going to mention Tatum every game, you guys.
Steam play.
Hey, there's some steam coming in right now on the college basketball board. It's on Ryder against Rutgers. The Sharps appear to be taking Ryder here this morning. Okay, it was 20.5. It might go down to about 19 here right now, taking Ryder. I'll have some comments on that game coming up and a pick as well, but just want to mention that Ryder's taking the steam right now against Rutgers. That just in on the steam machine over here. All right, Wizards and Celtics, though. Let's dive in here. We got, like I said, both teams are crummy against the spread so far. Washington is even worse than Boston so far against the spread, although Boston does have a 3-5 record overall at least. But nonetheless, not covering many numbers. Washington here, meanwhile, has failed to cover in 5 straight games. They've lost to Boston in 8 straight games overall. 4 of the last 5 between these two have gone under. Boston's been winning, like I said, not only winning these games, but they did cover here in Boston last time they met in April. But by that time, the Wizards were totally caked, 124-90. But at Washington, the Wizards did get a couple of covers in there against the Boston Celtics last season. So do you think this is enough here? 12 points with what's been going on right now. Boston really not finishing anybody off, but certainly here about as top strength as they could be. Let's go to the chat right now. This one's tough, man. What are you going to do? Let's go see what you got. Okay. Celtics for our Tomps leads us off. Greg's got this one right close to the number here, it looks like. 9 Legacy has the Wizards to cover. This one, not too much going on, it feels like, from the chat on this. This one, a little bit dicey here with the Wizards and the Celtics here today. All right, I'll make my call. Probably like the total better, but I want to play on the side here. Oh, I'm going to lay it. Give me Boston here. I'm going to go ahead and lay 12 points. This is my least favorite of the day. Can't even decide here right up until showtime. Usually it's probably got picks on 95%, maybe 9 out of every 10 games, and I leave one to weigh the chat. I'm undecided. I try to pick a pick on every game. It makes it a little bit hard, but that one we're kind of going to wing it there on the fly. I'll lay it here with Boston. Celtics team total over for Tariq. All right. And let's see here. Oh, Derek White to get out of that slump. Yeah, I mean, Derek White has not. I mean, he is a fantasy. He's not hitting his. He's getting close, right, on his props, but he really has not superseded his expectations in any game this year. Maybe one or two, but he's definitely been underachieving on what's expected or what's needed from Derek White. I think that's a fact. Boston due for a blowout. That's Thank you, Greg. I couldn't have said it better. That's what I wanted to say with my pick on Boston here. Okay. Like Greg here, he's really been a great contributor since joining the Chat All-Stars. Really done a great job here. Thank you, Greg. All right, next up. Timberwolves and Knicks here in New York. All right, well, we all know the obvious storyline, but let's try to avoid those by, the year or two have gone by here. So we don't worry about Cat anymore in Minnesota. What we worry about is Ant Edwards here. Got some steam coming in right now. College basketball. Loyola Marymount tonight against Eastern Washington. They were a 6-point favorite. Loyola Marymount here is getting steamed up here. I can't believe it. They're getting steamed up here to 8.5 right now. There it goes. Loyola Marymount. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Lions. They're an 8.5-point favorite right now against Eastern Washington. All right. We'll see about that. Steam just came in on Loyola Marymount. Maybe the Sharps are looking at they beat somebody the other day 140-70 or so. I don't even know they scored that much. It was 130-50 or something, and they're like, "Wow, you got to take them here." At least Eastern Washington played somebody. Well, I think they played Menlo College. I don't know who they played. All right, Timberwolves and Knicks here with the Knicks favored in this one by 4. It's 4. It might even be 3.5. So there's obviously a little bit of a move here this morning to the Timberwolves. I'll call it 4, but I see the sharp books are at 3.5 right now. Total here 228.5, maybe 228. Maybe down to even 227.5. There are a few books, but I'll leave it at 228 right here in this one. All right, let's take a look here at these two. Both teams coming in here with a 4-3 record right now. Both teams have won 2 in a row so far right now. The Knicks with wins over Chicago and Washington, and Minnesota coming in off of wins over Charlotte and Brooklyn. All right, real quick here. Some more steam just came in. I don't want to bypass it in case you can get on this or want to get on this. Indiana was a 26-point favorite against Alabama A&M. They are now going up. They are now 29 here. Indiana, at least a 2 or 3 point move right now on Indiana against Alabama A&M. I'm not saying we're picking on some of these SWAC and MEACs here, but it does feel like the Sharps are hitting these big favorites today. Up to 30 here right now at Bet Online with Indiana. That steam coming in. I'm reporting on it in real time to you right now. All right, let me get you with the Timberwolves and the Knicks. All right, so yeah, both teams coming in here 4-3, but it's the Knicks that are 4-3 against the spread and 4-0 against the spread at home. Meanwhile, Minnesota's just 2-5 to the numbers so far. Although I will say that both of their covers did come on the road. They're actually 2-2 ATS, so they've been a little bit better to the number on the road than they have at home. But like I said, the Knicks are undefeated at home. Minnesota is 5-2 to the over, including 3-1 to the over on the road. So far this season. Let's hear from you in the chat with Minnesota and the Knicks. The Knicks have been gone. The Knicks have gone under in 5 of the last 7 meetings against Minnesota. They've also gone under in 9 of the last 13 meetings overall with the Timberwolves. And like I said, Knicks at home right now. I don't know, they're kind of money. see what you have in this one between Minnesota and the Knicks. You got to think, these teams, since the Cat went to the Knicks, I mean, they played, remember, some memorable games last year. In fact, they...
Critical notice.
Uh-oh. Okay. Anybody see that terrible story last night with the the soccer match in Serbia that got suspended? The coach during the middle of the game has a heart attack 44 minutes into the game, and he collapses, and they, uh, bring the ambulance on, and everybody's worried and everything, and they take him off. Nobody really knows, but it collapsed. He collapsed on the sideline. It's happened. Sometimes they get a little lightheaded and stuff, right? And everybody's happy at the end. Took him to the hospital. They resumed the match, but just a few minutes later, they said he passed away. They immediately abandoned the match right in the middle, and the players are collapsing, holding their heads, and even the opponent was shocked and saddened in Serbia, a game in Serbia last night. I don't know why it just came up because I saw they were had a soccer report was the note that came in and made me think of that. But you could see it on X. Don't watch it if you don't want to see the coach collapse, but you can see the whistle and the referee wave off the match, blowing the whistle several times. Okay, I'm taking the Knicks. I'll just better move along here. I think I'm getting a little value on the Knicks right now at 4 or 3.5. Right, it opened up there a little early, and I know that. Look, Ant Edwards is out of this game. We know that. Although I will say his status has improved actually, and has been upgraded to questionable. I actually think he could make this lineup. Actually, maybe that's what the move is all about. It hasn't been finalized or official or anything. Karl Anthony Towns is actually on the injured list with illness today. So we'll see. He was really just added to the list here within the last 25 minutes with that illness. So that's probably what that move is all about. But I'm not skeptical. I'm concerned, but I'm going to take the Knicks here right now, and I'll take him minus those points. I get the discount now. If he's in, it'll go back up to 5. If Ant's in,
final,
then it'll really be a lower spread. I'll get your comments here, but not very many from you, it looks like here. Here's our Tomps with the Timberwolves. Greg says this one. He's got it right. I think that's a little bit of an over there. Ant loves to play in MSG. Hopefully he's in. And Greg says, he says, Ramon, is this the ESPN game today? You bet it is. Here's the Knicks for 9 legacy. And Tariq wants the Knicks. I'm sorry, he wants the Knicks.
6 to play.
Could be overtime, says Greg. All right, next up, the Rockets are taking on the Grizzlies. Rockets are favored here in this one by 7.5. The total, 232.5. Houston comes in here 4-2. That's a 4-game winning streak for Houston right now. Remember, they lost their first 2. What's wrong with Houston? Don't worry about it. They've covered 3 of their last 4. They didn't cover against Dallas there the other night. Won by 8, favored by 12. We know they're pretty popular, but man, they smashed Boston. Remember, in Boston, they smashed Toronto in Toronto. They smashed Brooklyn at home. They're hot right now, and they're going up against Angry Ja. Angry Ja. Hey, Ja means love. Where I come from, Angry Ja. So he wants out. You guys have already traded him to the Lakers. I don't want to ruin the chemistry of the Lakers, but we'll take it. Maybe they'll take a chance on Ja, but can that really work out? Anyways, Angry Ja because they can't cover the spread. They've also lost every time they've been an underdog so far this season, straight up and against the spread. And they're underdogs here to the Rockets, who are actually 3-0 against the spread on the road. So this is where they've been the best off. Memphis, meanwhile, just 2-6 overall ATS, and like I said, 0-4 ATS as a dog. Because you got to figure Angry Ja, once they start falling behind, they whine and pout like no other and just give up. So how will that affect today's game? Let's get your plays in the chat. Greg's got this one right on the total. And how about Amen Thompson? Keep rolling with Thompson. Decent matchup here. Jaw's got a great matchup, but he squares off, I think, against Thompson. But I don't know if these other guys can get anything done. KCP, Jalen Wells, that's probably another problem. Jock Lonsdale. I mean, what's he doing for you against Sengun? Let me check the injured list. I think, let's see what the update is on Smith. And get all those updates. Rockets over for Justin. Greg says Houston owns them. Jabari Smith is questionable. Steven Adams, questionable here. DFS. I think DFS downgraded to out. We haven't even seen him yet this season. Why do I have him on the injury report every day? I think he's supposed to be nearing a return. Is that right? I thought it was. I'll look more into DFS. I thought it was longer than this. Is he actually scheduled for return here soon? So the Memphis injuries are nothing. We know these guys have been out here for a little bit with Jerome and with Pippen. So let's see how you've got it, though, here at this one. And Nasty Nate says, how about the Hawks? Yep, they got it done there yesterday against the Madge. I was on them. We were on them. Nate was on them. They got steamed. We were on those Hawks. All right. Man, I'll probably look to the total in this game. Houston is 3-0 to the total on the to the over on the road so far this season. So I'm probably going to just ride that a little bit. Memphis is 1-3 to the under as a dog so far. But when these two teams meet, like you said right there, Greg, talking about the dominance of these two teams. Houston's covered 6 of the last 8 meetings against Memphis overall. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone over between the two teams. Like I said, Houston's trending kind of over. Minnesota is trending kind of under. But when the two teams meet, it's been mostly an over between them, right? So I'm going to go over here in this one with Houston and Memphis here tonight. All right, next, let's see. Memphis can't beat them for nothing. Fernando's on the over here. And Thompson will always come at a good price because of the other talent there on the Rockets team. Thank you, Terrell. Yeah, I mean, look, Thompson had a great game against Boston. I thought he was also very strong there against Dallas. He's really had 3 decent games, very good games in a row, I feel like. And Houston, let's see, what is he saying here? Houston swept them last year, same team. Yeah. Memphis won in January 120 to 119 at home, I think, right? No. Yeah, Memphis won at home in that one. Rockets on the spread here. Okay. And KD over on his points. Thank you. 9 Legacy. Okay. Let's go to Pelicans and the Mavs. This one ain't doing anything for us either. Pelicans come in 1-6. The Mavs are 2-5. But Pelicans are the team off of a win here finally. Got the win against Charlotte. They won and covered 116 to 112. We said they'd get there yesterday, and they did by a point. But, hey, we had them. Here on the Morning Steam Show. Took New Orleans. Dallas has lost 2 straight, but they did cover against Houston as a 12.5-point dog last time out. Right now, Dallas is 0-3 against the spread as a favorite, but New Orleans is 1-4-1 against the spread as a dog. Oh, what are you going to do here? At least Dallas is. Both these teams are pretty bad against the number. Let's just face it. New Orleans has gone over in 3 of their 4 home games, but Dallas has gone under in 4 of their 5 home games. Dallas is also 0-3 to the under as a home favorite, I believe. So this one is not the best game here tonight, but New Orleans, man, they can't win on the road for the life of them here. Not only are they 0-4 this year, they finished last season with 6 straight losses on the road. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Let's see what you guys got in the chat, because another ugly game here early on here in the season. Pelicans money line for Cash Cane if Zion is in. Yeah, maybe it would be a good idea to take a look at the injuries in this one, because I expect Zion in this game or out of this game with that hamstring injury. They said yesterday, I think, out indefinitely at this time. So sucks for Zion there. AD is out, Exum is out, Lively is out. That makes it tough. Misi is questionable. So there's some pieces missing, I guess is the best way to put it here, huh? All right. Well, that's going to be Dallas isn't winning anything either. Both these teams are just an eyesore here at this point. All right. Well, Dallas covered the last meeting here at home, winning by 8 as a 5.5-point favorite. They also blasted them last year right around this time as a 13-point favorite. They won by 41 points. I guess I'll take Dallas in this one. Sounds like another tough one for me, but this will probably be a high-scoring game, and I think that's a low total for what we might be seeing here in this game, actually, given the fact that New Orleans isn't looking that great defensively on the road. Here we go. Greg said he told us. No, I told you, Greg. I was the one on the Pelicans. You didn't tell me. I told you on that one. Greg says, though, I think he likes the Pelicans here again. They're the team on the back-to-back here, don't forget. And he says sprinkle a little on them, too. All right. I guess we're against each other, though, on that one. We were on the same team last night. But I'm going to have to go with Dallas here. All right. Yeah, Pelicans trying to win back-to-back. Heat and Nuggets. Here, you got the Nuggets favored in this one by 9. Whoa, okay. Heat have been my team so far, but this does look like a tough game for the Heat, actually. They always struggle for whatever reason in Denver. When you come from Miami, did they play at home last time? No, they've been on the road trip. This is their 4th straight road game, as a matter of fact, but they did beat the Clippers there the other night. 120-119 is a 7.5-point dog after losing to the Lakers. They also lost to the Spurs. They're 1-2 on this trip here, but the Nuggets, we know they're not the best cover in the world, but they have covered a couple of games in 3 tries at home so far this season. Still, Miami's one of the best spread teams in the league, 5-1-1 against the spread, 3-1-1 on the road, 4-1-1 ATS as a dog. So they're in the right role, but they just have a problem here when it comes to playing in Denver. They're 3-12 against the spread in their last 15 games against Denver. They've gone under in 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. Now, when I say 3 of the last 12, Miami 3-12 last 15, that is 7 or 8 years of sample size right there. So but still, Miami, when you go into Denver, the optics or the it's a little different. We know that. Miami is 5-2 to the over. Denver's 4-2 to the over. Miami's 4-1 to the over on the road so far. In fact, dating back to last season, Miami's gone over in 14 of their last 18 games. Denver's been a solid over here so far. And let's see what you guys have. I'm ready. I think I'm ready. This total, look at that. 241. That's actually gone down from a high of 243, but I already know I'm on the under. I get it, but no, I'm on the under here. I'm playing that move. I don't think it got steamed to the under at all, but I do want to look now. No, doesn't look like it. I'm playing the under here at 241. That's okay with me. I'm taking the under in this one. All right. Mavs and Pelicans are the teams on the back-to-back. Nine Legacy, Pelicans on the spread. Miami on the spread. Jokic over on his points and Flag over on his PRA. Here's Heat first half for Tariq. And Greg likes this one probably just right in line with the spread there pretty much. Thunder and the Blazers. Okay. Hey, I felt like just was watching that Thunder game, and they got another win, and man, they've been awesome now. 8-0. Remember, early in the season, they weren't covering spreads. The spreads were too big. Doesn't matter anymore. They're covering spreads like nobody's business, covering 3 in a row. They covered against Washington in a 19-point win. They covered against New Orleans, laying 13.5, and they covered easily against the Clippers last night. Now, before we go all crazy with the Thunder, and we already know we love them, but they are on the quick turnaround here. That was a late game last night. Started 8-10 on the West Coast. You win the game, grab the dinner, head to the plane, play cards on the plane for $25,000. And by that time, you hopefully be up to Portland and get into bed and get ready for the game. With your 8-game winning streak covering all these spreads. They're actually just 4-4 ATS. It's Portland that's 4-0 against the spread at home, or 4-0 that's against the spread as an underdog so far this season for the Blazers. Are also 3-1 against the spread at home. They didn't lose one time there as a small favorite, but Blazers have been, good to the numbers so far. Good, 4-3 straight up here right now. Now they did lose last time out to the Lakers, of course, here the other night, 123-115 as a big favorite. Remember, Lakers had all those players out, and Lakers still came through with flying colors. But before that, they beat the Lakers, they beat Utah, and they beat Denver and covered 2 of those matchups. They didn't cover as a small favorite against Utah, winning by just 2. So good job, Blazers. I mean, they're looking pretty good, and here they are getting points. I think it's kind of built in a little bit to the fatigue factor, or maybe the feeling that maybe Portland can get this one, because it's down to 4.5 or even 4 here. This 5.5 is stale. It's 4.5 at least. I'm even showing 4 here at the book closest to me here at the Green Valley Ranch, where I like to hang out. So I think the Blazers are kind of a sharp side, right? We all know we saw the Thunder out there, and we'll see. Jalen Williams is questionable. Lou Dortz is questionable. He left the game last night, remember? And also, Tybal, he's questionable here tonight. And we'll see. Nobody knew of any potential rest. Nobody said anything yet. We don't know if there'll be any rest, but I'm going to go ahead here and make my call probably on the total in this game. But let's see what you have in the chat in the game between Oklahoma City and Portland in the Rose City. All right. Greg said Miami was off yesterday, so that'll help them when they get to Denver. I think that's what he's saying there. 118, 113 here. He's got that one right in line. I guess now that would be Oklahoma City play a little bit. Tariq likes the Thunder in the first half. Justin likes those Blazers. Greg says Portland might even win this one. Blazer money line for Cash Kane. And Greg says Vegas put that money low, trying to draw that Thunder money in. All right. Good calls here from you guys in this one. But, hey, I'm going to make my call, I think, here on the total in this matchup here between Oklahoma City and Portland. Portland's kind of been going over here so far. They've gone over in 3 of 4 at home. Both the teams are combined 10-5 to the over thus far this season. I've got this one going over here. It's already gone up to 230 from 228, so no value here, but I'll go over tonight. OKC and Portland. The Warriors are taking on the Kings here in Sacramento. Got the red hot Warriors here. Well, they have lost 2 of their last 3, but we
Final.
know they've been pretty terrific here anyway. They've been covering some numbers here with a 5-3 spread record. They'll be an underdog for just the second time this season. Hey, they got it done last time they were an underdog when they beat the Clippers at home. Remember, they crushed them, held them to 79 points. Sacramento comes in here off back-to-back covers, although they did lose to the Nuggets last time out in Denver by 6 points. They were getting 11.5. Sacramento is actually 0-2 as a favorite this season. So you have all the other factors about to come up here right now when I tell you, as Rybakina did beat Alexandrova by 4 games there, 6-4, 6-4. All right. Curry is out of this game with an illness announced late last night by Steve Kerr in a post-game press conference. Guess he got sick after scoring all those points in the win there over the Suns, and probably had some bad rice or something. Jimmy Butler, he's questionable in this game. Big Al, he's probable. Chewy is questionable. Sabonis for the Kings, he's questionable. Zach LaVine, questionable. Malik Monk, he's questionable here as well. So we don't know about half the players, half the starters in these games, it feels like here right now. Who is going to play and how will that affect your play? I mean, the Warriors are still kind of a great cover, even in these situations. Sometimes they end up, figuring it out. But the fact that the Kings are established as the favorite, obviously, here, and not only that, I mean, a solid 3-point. There's one book at 2.5, but does feel like, it's one of those where you either trust in the book here and trust in the sharps. Just say, hey, the Kings are a 3-point favorite. It looks like the Warriors just need a day off. They're, 5-3. It's not like they're going out there crushing here at this point, but the Kings aren't very good either. They're just 2-5, and like I said, they haven't covered as a home at home yet as a favorite. So let's see what you got though here. I mean, it's one of those where sometimes the Warriors, they just did it the other night in a way, right? All those players were out. All right, let's take a look here. Warriors have covered. Warriors, interestingly enough, have lost 5 of the last 7 games to the Kings, yet covered 5 of the last 7. So they've actually struggled with the Kings and covered as a dog against them in a few situations last season. The Warriors were 2-point dogs and won 109-106. They were 2-point dogs at home last October 11th. Well, that doesn't make any sense. That would be maybe I got the date wrong on that. Kings won in Golden State 129-119 in January, and then again in January, the Kings won at home 123-117, although they were a 7.5-point favorite in that one, the Kings were. And then in February, Sacramento lost 132-108. This is a bizarre series overall. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. The steam came in on the under here, though. The total's down to 225. So this is definitely an over series, but the steam came in on the under probably because you got Curry out, obviously. Butler might not play. So is this the one where if you figure if everybody's healthy, the Warriors would be at least a 3-point favorite, right? If not more. So, all right, I'm going to look at the chat first, see if anybody trusts the Kings in this role. Or is this one where, the Warriors have that, Kerr, maybe the coaching, maybe the depth here. So, all right. Let's go to, let's see here. Cash Kane says Kings money line. And Tariq says Rybakina got that win. Yeah, but I got a void, Tariq. I hope if you got a win, great. You might have just looked at it, not even looked who the opponent was and hit it. Don't fall for the bait. Portland Spring. Oh, that was that last game. Here, Greg says he's got it right there on the line. Right? And that was it, Tariq, right? When they didn't have the line, and can the Warriors do it with the Lakers? Maybe that's what I was talking about, but I'm going to go with the Kings here in this one. I'll just kind of trust the situation here and say that the Warriors are kind of mailing this one in. But look, when you're missing Sabonis, and Zach LaVine's got those back problems again. That's 40 points right there. That'll match the 40-plus points of Curry and Butler. We could be seeing a G League game out here tonight. All right, I took the Kings. Spurs and Lakers wrap it up here in the NBA with the Lakers favored at home by 2.5.
Steam play.
Let me get this college steam play in here, and then we'll move on. Because I just want to mention this. I have this one lined up in the previews here. I was going to give out – let me make sure here. I was going to give out the under in this game with Coppin State and LaSalle. I'm going to do it right now because the line is on the move. The steam's coming in on the under at 142.5. Coppin State and LaSalle. The value's kind of leaving it here. I was going to give this one out as a play on the college basketball segment. It's down to 141.5 here, maybe going lower. Coppin State and LaSalle under here for me is my play. The steam's coming in on it. I was going to give it out as a play, so I got to do it right now. And we'll touch on it when we get to the college segment. Okay, Spurs and Lakers. Wow, the game of the night here with the Lakers coming in 6-2 now. And the Spurs finally lost a game. They were 5-0 and then got clipped up there that last game. Still looking great, but you wonder if it's just not a little bit of a overshoot a little bit. They lost at Phoenix 130-118. Lakers coming in having won and covered 4 straight games. Ho-hum, nonchalant. Even with these ins and outs and injuries and whatever else is going on with the Lakers. All right. LA comes in here 6-2 against the spread so far, 2-0 against the spread as a favorite. That's the thing. Lakers are 4-2 against the spread as an underdog this year too. I mean, they're doing it. San Antonio comes in here. They're an underdog for just the second time this season. They did cover their only other time as an underdog so far. But Lakers, man, just whoever they're throwing out there, credit to, again, Pelinka, credit to Redick, and, and the Lakers too. I mean, maybe more so Pelinka comes. Look, if Reeves goes out, it's okay. We've got other guys who can kind of step up so far, and that's what they've been doing with some of these other players. All right. For the Lakers here right now, they have beaten the Spurs in 9 of the last 11 meetings between the two teams. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Let's see how you have it here with these two tonight. Lakers have been an over team so far, big time, 7-1 to the over. Great shooting, great ball movement. They look great out there. They're 4-0 to the over at home. The Spurs are 2-4 to the under so far, and 0-1 to the under as a dog. I will say the Lakers are a 1 over and 1 under as a favorite, but the Spurs are 2-1 to the over on the road. This total has gone from 227.5 to maybe even 2. Oh no, it's been going down actually. Well, I can only make my call here on the show, but I'm going over in this one. Again, I mean, the Lakers, all these games are going over. And the Spurs on the road, I think that's more of a chance to go over here. All right, let me see what you got. I'm going over, and the segment's over as well. Here we go. All right. Lakers for Greg. I think he says they'll cover. And Tariq says, how about Maryland Eastern Shore today? Was there steam to the under? Oh, you bet there was, Tariq. It was right here on the air, right near the early part of the show. That thing dropped like 4 points, maybe 3 points now. I see it settling back at 142-ish. All right, Lakers ain't losing unless Luka was out, but I got news for you. Luka is in tonight. Barring unforeseen circumstances, I've got Luka in this game here tonight. Maxi Kleber is questionable. Austin Reeves is probable. Gabe Vincent's still out. De'Aaron Fox is out. Waters is questionable. Olynyk is questionable. Cornette is questionable. Harper is out. It's a lot of injuries on the Spurs there. All right, I'm taking the Lakers here in this one. I'm taking the over here in this one with the Spurs and the Lakers here tonight. That's the basketball segment. Man, that took a long time. Where are we going next? Let's go to the ice. Man, how about the freshmen last night in college basketball? The kid from Arizona, the young man from BYU, the $7 million man there the other night. All right, let's get going over the NHL where I've got the Utah Mammoth. They're on the road taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Stolarz, he's so good, he's got a double parentheses. There we go. Got the Maple Leafs here. Look, you're seeing more plays for me that I'm having to stretch it out here into the one, I don't know, on some of my favorites here. I'm willing to lay $1.75 on some of these. But again, we're just dealing with a situation where there's these one-goal games are so incredible. You're having the bookmakers actually making the appropriate adjustment. We're seeing a lot of games where the favorite might be $1.60, $1.65, $1.70. And to take the puck line on the other side at plus 1.5, you're having to lay $1.70, $1.75, $1.80. And it makes sense because there's so many one-goal games. It's hard to get involved with the puck line favorite, that's for sure. Puck line favorites just aren't getting it done. Teams are adjusting their late game strategies as well, kind of like what Mikey Money was talking about here. I think early on in the season, the teams not knowing, how did he put it? Not knowing how bad they're supposed to be. I think that's the way he said it. And I think that's why some of the games also are ending up just one-goal games. You know, we're seeing teams give a full-hearted effort and not allowing that open netter. And a lot of teams also scoring that goal, scoring that added man advantage goal. I think more so that than teams less so giving up the empty netter. So let's go ahead here and move in with the Utah and Toronto here today. Toronto 7-5-1 coming in. Utah 9-4. So there also case in point to what I'm talking about with the maybe playing some of these regulation ties. Maybe this wouldn't be one of them, right? You have basically between these two teams only having gone to overtime once, right, in the 13 games between them. So probably this one, maybe we decided one way or the other. Who do you got, though? That's the question. Anyways, like I said, Utah's been great. They're 5-3 on the road, but Toronto is 6-2 at home so far. Toronto's been dismal on the puck line. So despite a 6-2 record, they're 6-2-1, I guess, at home. They're 2-7 at home on the puck line. So they only win by one when they win. So which would you take, right? If you were playing it, take a favorite or take a dog, right? Would you take a Toronto as a favorite there at 165, or you take the puck line dog, give yourself two chances to win? I know, look, you guys can do what you need to do, and I encourage you to do so. When we're talking about taking the regulation play, taking the -1 play, that's fine too. I give up these 1.5s on here. You can make the appropriate adjustments. All right. So anyway, with Utah and Toronto, you have Toronto is an out-of-control over team so far. They've gone over in 11 of 13 games. They've got exciting, explosive offense here and scoring at this point. Both Montreal and Toronto. How about the offenses of these two Canadian teams? So for Montreal especially, man, they've been really looking good offensively. Anyways, Utah comes in looking pretty strong here, though, as well. 8-2 in last 10 games overall. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams here in Toronto have gone under, but it's hard to ignore this Toronto over trend right now. 10-2 to the over is a favorite, and even though Utah is 5-8 to the under in 7 of their last 10, they're actually 4-2 to the over as an underdog. This is kind of the role where they do go over, and they're playing right into the hands of a team that goes over every single time here right now. Stolarz is likely in goal here, 3.12 goals against, 5-4, 5-4-1 record, 89.5% save percentage. Vanacek is in there for Utah now, it looks like. 2-1 record, 2.0 goals against. I got to try the over here in this one with Toronto going off like this. And Utah, like I said, obviously kind of an under team, but when they're a dog, they're 4-2 to the over. So maybe this is the type of role that you want to try to go with them in. Yeah, it's 6.5 here at a little bit of juice. That might be 6.5 flat, a little bit of juice to the under. I'm going to go over here with Utah and Toronto. Don't sleep on Utah's offense here lately. All right, Greg says Fox has been out. And let's see here. There's some plays for Tariq. Greg loves those Boozer twins. They look like they're ready for the NBA right now, unlike Cooper Flag. No, just kidding, Coop. Leafs over for Justin. Gibby here says Toronto 4-3. Maple syrup. That means Toronto puck line. And there's Nuke. He's ready for the hockey segment. He likes Utah here. I can't blame you, Nuke. Okay, steam coming in right now, college basketball. Southern and Marquette. Guys, this is one I had in the preview today. I was going to give out the over as my play. The over is coming in. The steam is coming in on the over right now. So hopefully it's okay if I just tell you I'm on the over. We'll preview it later. But the total was 150. Now it's all the way up, and this thing's out of control. I'm going to give it as my free play here. It's 155.5 at Circa. Hey, if you're quick to the draw, you might get 153.5 out there. And if you do, you're going to get the CLV by 2 points in Southern and Marquette because the sharpest book in the world is at 155.5. That's the way I call it anyway with Circa. And maybe it's sharpest Vegas book, sharpest domestic book maybe. And right now it's up to 155.5. You may already find it there, but I'm going over. I'm going over by 5 points, what I already called for on my pick on the show. But I'll stick with it. It fits the narrative. But, man, that thing's going through the roof. And you figure Marquette, like I said, I don't know if we're picking on these SWACs and MEACs right now, but it sure feels like it. Tariq likes the over in that one. Or maybe is it the hockey game, Tariq? Okay, I'm going over here with Utah and Toronto next up. Blues and Caps. Well, this would have been a good game, but what's happened here all of a sudden to these two teams? The Blues have been slumping since that hot start. At least they snapped that losing streak last time out to improve to 4-7-2, beating Edmonton at home, finally getting a win. Meanwhile, Washington's lost 4 straight. Out of nowhere, right? Lost to Ottawa, Dallas, the Islanders, and Buffalo. So what's happened here to the Caps all of a sudden? Logan Thompson in here. He is going to be the goalie today for sure. He's 5-3 with a 1.51 goals against, 93.5% save percentage. We know what's wrong with the Caps. They've gone into a scoring slump. They've scored just 5 goals in the last 4 games overall, and it took playing Buffalo just to score 3, and they still lost that game. Bennington comes in here 3-4-2 with a 3.08 goals against and an 87% save percentage here so far. Blues right now are 3-1 as an underdog straight up so far this season. Meanwhile, Washington just 3-4 at home. Blues are also 4-0 on the puck line as an underdog this season. Got to lay $2 to take them here on that puck line. But like I said, these games are 1-goal games. At least you get 2 chances there with the Blues. If you cover that, they could win. They could lose by 1. You still get them. That's the thing about taking those puck line dogs. Everyone laughs at me, but I like them because, hey, they can win. You can only one thing you can do when you lay a puck and a half, and that's win by 2. Right? You take that puck line dog, you can lose, you might win, but you got two negative options with the puck line favorite. So I know the prices have gone up, so I know I haven't done as many, but I should be. It's actually a mistake not to take some of those puck line dogs right now, like I, maybe was doing more last season. I'm behind the curve right now of that current trend, even though I just gave it out, told you. 1-goal games are up 40% over the first 3 weeks of the season here, whatever it is. All right, Blues and Caps, though, continuing on here right now. Look, the Blues are 4-1 to the over at home, but they are 1-3 to the under as a dog. Washington's a dog, under team so far, 5-7 to the under so far this season. However, this series, which obviously they only meet a couple of times a year, so you might reserve it a little bit here. But 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. All right. And Washington, though, here, let's see how you guys have it. I'm going under in this one, you guys, between the Blues and the Caps. I think I'm actually going against the old computer algorithm here. I got to look at my numbers. I hate to be totally against the no, I'm fine with this. Yeah, I've got the under in this one. It is a little bit slighted to the over, but it looks like with this current line at 6. Look at this here. Yeah, it's moved to under, is definitely the favorite now. So missing the value here, but I'm playing the move. 6 under 15, and I'm taking the under with the Blues and the Caps here. All right. Oh, let me get your comments in the chat real quick. Greg goes on Marquette back there, as I would call Marquette. Timothy is on the Caps. Greg says Blues on the puck line here. He's got it 4-2. He's got the Blues to rock them. Whoa, that's a big one from Greg right there. Also, here's Nuki says OBE, anytime goals, going for his record here, going for his milestone. And Art Tumps likes the Blues under with me. Okay, Blue Jackets and the Flames. One of you said the Flames in there. Step up. This is your moment. Here we go with the Blue Jackets and the Flames here. Blue Jackets on the road, still a slight favorite. Hey, the Flames are the team coming off the win. The Blue Jackets finally lost a game. They were on a winning streak before losing to the Islanders on the road last time out, 3-2. Calgary, though, meanwhile, finally got a win. They were on a 3-game losing streak and beat the Flyers 2-1. They've actually won a couple games here of late. They're 3-9-2 overall. Columbus is 7-5. So another one of those where maybe this one might be close enough to still do the draw. But so far, like I said, Columbus hasn't even gone to overtime yet this season. Calgary comes in here 8-2 to the over in their last 10. They're 10-4 to the over overall. But Columbus is 4-8 to the under so far, and they've gone under in 7 of their last 10 coming into this one. Right now, Calgary has moved to the favorite. I need to adjust this. Can you believe it? I mean, as bad as things have been, but Columbus isn't looking so hot either, I guess. Not awful. I mean, come on, 7-5, but the Flames are the favorite here. I guess it's kind of troublesome. All right. Well, we can look a little bit maybe at the head-to-heads here with these two because Calgary here has lost just 4 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams. Calgary has won 5 of the last 6 times against Columbus at home. So maybe there's something to that as far as I don't think that's why Calgary would be moved to the favorite, but I'm just saying it is obviously closer here than the records would indicate, considering Columbus's above average start and Calgary had that woeful start that really left them with one of the worst records in the league. Still, Calgary's gone over in 5 of their last 6 coming in, but Columbus has gone under in 7 of their last. Or I already said that trend. Oh, can you make it any tougher on me? All right, let me go to the chat and see what you guys have here in this one. I might be having a little bit of Blue Jacket regret now as a dog, but I think the Blue Jackets are probably the side. Let me see here what you guys have. A blue, I think Greg. Oh, no, here we go. Blue Jackets for Timothy Hawk. Mr. Weskers, how about the Flames? Greg says he's got the Flames. He says Wolf will get the job done. Okay, good. I don't feel bad then because, like I said, I might be having some regret here. Is it possible to like Columbus as a dog and not as a favorite? I guess that's the way I'm kind of feeling about it. But Dustin Wolf, 3-8-1, 3.39 goals against, 88.5% save percentage for Jet Greaves here, the backup for Columbus, 3-3 with a 2.67 and goals against, 91.5% save percentage here. All right. Calgary for Justin. 9 Legacy says Calgary. What Mr. Wesker says, well, I don't know, Mr. Weskers. I'm already on the record as backing Calgary in this game. I just don't want them at minus 120, I don't think, against the Blue Jackets. At minus 105, I mean, these are fine lines. I don't want to be that wishy-washy, but I'm a market player for the most part. Sometimes I doll it up here to make it, I like handicapping, the players too. I mean, I love that. I guess it's all part of the puzzle. All right, I'm going to go over in this one with Columbus and Calgary. Come on, this game's going to be 4-3. Who am I kidding? Give me the over. That's the basketball equivalent of I didn't really have a pick on the total until I got here. Tariq's on the Flames. Next up, the Blackhawks are at the Canucks. Hey, you got 2 teams playing okay here for sure, right? You got Blackhawks here, 5-5-3. The Canucks are 7-7, but Chicago has lost 3 straight after that surprising start. Lost to Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Seattle coming in. Meanwhile, Vancouver coming in here off of a road win against Nashville. They went 2-1 on that road trip and played pretty well. I know they're $1.70 or higher here, so they're paying a little bit of a price here. It's gone down to $1.65 maybe. Maybe that is some value in today's market here. Got Chicago coming in here 10-3 on the puck line, of course, because that's what happened. That's what we're doing here with these puck line dogs. Even Vancouver's 1-2 on the puck line as a favorite. Vancouver just 2-1 so far as a favorite this season. Chicago's 5-3-2 in their last 8, but like I said, they've cooled down dramatically here. Chicago is 4-9 to the under, but Vancouver's 5-9 to the over. Vancouver's 4-1 to the over at home here so far. So let's see what some of the head-to-heads say on this, and then get your picks here in this one. Vancouver has won 5 straight meetings over the Blackhawks at home. Chicago's actually lost 10 straight games here actually to Vancouver. Chicago's gone under in 6 of their last 8, but Vancouver's gone over in 5 of 6. Let's hear from you in the chat. Help me out. Don't be afraid of being the dog. 9 Legacy likes the Blackhawks money line. Timothy says, I'll take the Blackhawks on the puck line. It is a hefty price, I'll tell you that. Greg says, Canucks win this one 4-2. He likes the Canucks here on the puck line, it looks like. Chicago's starting to regress to the means. to the median. Yeah, definitely, Mr. Weskers. It is starting to give back just a little bit, it seems like, doesn't it? All right, I'm going over here in this one with Chicago and Vancouver here tonight. Give me the over 6 goals. And one more out west. It's San Jose taking on the Kraken. This San Jose team, they're 4-6-3, but they're not bad. Here's one where we're talking about taking those regulation draws. San Jose's had 3 overtimes right so far, and Seattle here, they've had how many? They've had several as well. I know. So these are 2 teams you'd probably look to go that regulation draw, maybe. Even though Seattle's a pretty big favorite here at minus $1.65. Seattle comes in here 4-9 as an underdog so far. Seattle's only been a favorite twice. They've won them both. They're also 4-0 straight up at home so far this season. Kraken come in here averaging 2.8 goals a game, but allowing 2.8 goals a game. Sharks are allowing 4.1, but the fact that this offense is slowly getting better for me is pretty impressive. I don't mind right now some of these Sharks prices. See what you have in this one, but man, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing from San Jose long term. I think they're going to get better. Man, it's been a long time. I know it's going to be hard. They've lost 10 of their last 12 on the road, dating back to last season. They've still lost 16 of their last 20 overall. Seattle here has gone over in for their last 5 games at home against Seattle overall. Kraken are they're one team that hasn't really fallen victim. They are 2-0 as a puck line favorite so far, covering that puck line in both instances here so far. They are 10-2 on the puck line so far, but 10-0 as a puck line underdog and 2-0 as a puck line favorite. They practically cover the puck line every single time here right now. But San Jose has also been a good puck line team for sure. Seattle's won the last 2 meetings. They were last year, but they won the last 2 meetings by a combined 11-3 score. So let's see what you have here in this one. Sharks and Kraken. Go to the chat. This is a tough hockey card today. Here we go. A little behind here. Sharks money line for Night Legacy. Over with the Sharks. Don't bite. Take the Sharks. You guys like the Sharks. I kind of like the Sharks too. Mr. Weskers wants to take the Sharks on the money line here. They are looking better. The puck line is a little too high even for me. I'm happy to take some of these bigger puck lines here on the show. I know we want to take them +1, but that's boring for the show, you guys. You got a tie on the show. You come on here to see me pick a winner. So, all right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually taking Seattle on the money line at minus $1.65. Sorry, not sorry. I'm going to take the Kraken to win this one. That's it for hockey. I'm glad it's over. Whew. That's it for the hockey segment. Hey, there's some action here tonight. And let's get to it with Kent and Ball. All right, you got, where's the graphic? All right, Kent is Ball's just moved to a 3-point favorite. It wouldn't surprise me if the steam came in here on Ball in the next couple of seconds. This thing just got hit across the board from a 2.5 to 3. No doubt about it. This thing's 3 everywhere. And the total here is still 47.5 right now. But probably because of these trends a little bit too. I mean, not the move itself, but listen, Ball here favored in this one by 3. But if you listen, some of these trends on the game here, you got Kent State. They've lost 18 straight games on the road. They've lost 5 of their last 6 to Ball. They've gone just 3-17 in their last 20 overall. Give them some credit here. They are 4-2 against the spread. Usually they're getting plenty of points. But here they're getting only 3 or 2.5 or 3 here right now. They actually have won a couple of games here of late. They beat Bowling Green last time out, and they crushed UMass a couple of games back. They're still 1-3 against the spread on the road. Meanwhile, Ball is 3-0 against the spread at home. Ball's won or covered 11 of their last 12 games at home dating back to last year. This one seems almost too easy. 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Kent's 3-1 to the over on the road. This is only the second time Ball State's been favored all season. But they've covered when they were favored. They're only 3-5 this season, but they've won all their games at home, and Kent is 0-4 on the road, part of that 18-game losing streak. Oh, brother. All right. I'm probably going to take the over in this one. They played last year. It was 37-35 at Kent. Ball won the game and didn't cover a field goal. Same exact spread here, pretty much. It was 37-35 last year, although it was at Kent. I'm still going to go over. That sounds good enough to me. 72 points is only 47. Now, to be fair, they did play a couple of unders in the years before that. Any play from you guys here? Let's see. 9 Legacy says, we make those picks to make money. Greg here, I think he's on Ball. I think he's on Ball in the over there a little bit, huh? All right, that might be it for that one. Not much from you guys here, huh? Ball for Nuke. Oh, here's another. Ball State Moneyline. And there's Dylon. Dylon's in the chat. Thank you, Dylon, for being here. Nice to see you in the chat, my brother. Appreciate it. And I'm going to take Ball. I'm going to take the over as my play here on the morning Steam show. Give me the over with Kent and Ball. Next up, we've got one more in action here. Then we're going to go over some college basketball, believe it or not, even though I already gave you 2 of the plays. But Northern Illinois and Toledo here in this one. Northern Illinois coming in 2-6 right now, but they did just snap a losing streak with that win over Ball last time out, 21-7, covering 6.5. Still Northern Illinois just 2-6 ATS, 1-4 ATS as a dog, and 1-3 ATS on the road. Meanwhile, Toledo 4-0 ATS at home, despite just a 4-3 record as a favorite. They're actually 0-3 as a road favorite, but 4-0 here at home as a 4-0 ATS as a favorite. Straight up and as a favorite. Toledo in here coming in off of a loss at Washington State, though, in a non-conference game, 28-7. Before that, they rocked Kent, covering 25.5. They did lose at Bowling Green in an upset. They were favored by 10.5 in there and lost, but they did blast Akron here in a similar role, favored by 21.5. They beat them 45-3. Still, Northern Illinois is not a bad cover here in some instances. Right now, it doesn't look like it necessarily, but historically they are. Toledo's 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 home games against Toledo. They've often slept a bit of a sleepwalk when they've played Northern Illinois. They've been in situations similar to this where maybe they were supposed to blast them. We know Toledo's strong at home. They've won 14 of their last 16 at home, and Northern Illinois basically has lost 6 of their last 7. Northern Illinois has gone under in 9 of their last 13 matchups overall in this series with Toledo. So I'm going to try the under here in this one with Northern Illinois and Toledo. It's 42. Maybe, okay, it's 42.5 at least, but I'll leave it at 42. Give me the under here in this one tonight between Northern Illinois and Toledo. All right, and let's see here. 9 Legacy, I think he meant their Kent State. He was just talking into his phone there. Spread's too low. Take the points, says Greg. I must have been that other game because this one's 15. Here's Northern Illinois on the spread. Here's Northern Illinois. I think the fact that Nuke typed in Northern Illinois means he wants Northern Illinois. I know he just hit the wrong notch there on the plus instead of the minus. But I think if you take the time to write it out, I think that's what Nuke wants. Yeah, there it is. Fixed it. Toledo, let's see. That is a Northern Illinois support there for Greg. I think that's a slight lean to the under. That might be it for college football. We'll let another second or two pass by. If you want to type in your play, let me know. But that's it for college football. Maction here on Wednesday night. All right. All right, I've got some college basketball plays here right now, and I think we've already talked about a couple of them, so sorry about we'll just kind of touch on them here a little bit, but let's go to it. I've got several plays for you here. I feel like I've really started the season well, so let's give out the plays here on the show. There'll be plenty of plays for the premium. I've been focusing mostly on the premium with college basketball and haven't really sent out any NBA or NHL, but I'll start to do so. I'm hearing back feedback. Not everyone can get all the plays that I have, and it's tough to dissect when I'm like a play stronger than the other, I know, on some of the shows. So we'll come with it here and make a better package for you guys. Are paying good money there, 40 cents a day to get my additional plays. So really do appreciate it. Let's go to college basketball right now and take a look at Riders and Rutgers here. We already saw Rider in action, right, against Virginia. Yeah, they got blown out. They didn't cover 87-53. But you know what? You're playing Virginia. They almost covered, right? I mean, yeah, they were a few points short, but Virginia's pretty good. And for Rutgers here, making their debut here right now, right? Look, Rutgers, we already said the steam came in on Rider, and the spread here is now what? Well, it's 18.5 now, it looks like. Where's the graphic? Got to update it for sure because it's not 20.5. It's definitely about 18.5. So the move's on Rider for sure. Here's the thing. Rutgers, they had all that great talent last year. They didn't really perform. They were good, right? I mean, those guys are good individually. They were good, but they weren't really that good as a team, right? They really weren't even that good scoring. I mean, they were, but they weren't kind of like a ball hog team were. But remember when they were losing all those games late in the season? They finished 8-12. It's tough for them in the Big Ten. Now those guys are gone. They were great, right? But now with this new team, maybe they can be a little bit more. They still are bringing in a little bit of talent here, but I think really where they're suppressed is on the offensive end. I think this total is way too high. This would be a premium, but I'm going to give it out right here. I like this game under for sure. And maybe you will see it as a premium later on, but if it goes too low here, it might go lower. I like this game under for sure in this one. That the Rider did go under. They're not going to score 53 points here against Rutgers. In Virginia, we know they're kind of a special talent, if you know what I mean. But I'm going to go with the under here in this one at 141. See, it's down to 130. It's 139 now. See, so the word is out. The word is out on this. So let me give it out the right price here. It might be juiced to the under here at 139. And I like it under for sure. And let's see here. Dylan's got me minus 10,000. Dylan, I'm going to throw this fight. Dylan, I'm going to throw that. I want you to go take the dog and take him on a knockout in the first round. I'm going to let the guy smack the shit out of me and come take me out of the hospital, and we'll split the money. Rutgers plus the clean that up, Nuke. I think Rutgers minus the points. Or Rider, I don't know that one. Yep. So, all right, I'm going to take the under in this one with Rider and Rutgers. I've got a few more. I got several I'm looking at here, actually. Greg says here he's got I think he likes Rider to cover here. I think that's a Rider play. Next up, I'm going to look at Coppin, and I've already looked at Coppin and LaSalle. I already told you I'm on the under here. I've got to totally clean up this line as well. This one's up. Look at when I typed this in. I typed them in kind of the middle of the night here several hours ago, but it was LaSalle 15 and 142. Now it's pretty much LaSalle 18 and 140 or 139 and a half. The move is on LaSalle. The steam came in on LaSalle, and the steam came in on the over, and I like it. The steam came in on the under, and I already liked it under here on the show. It's my play under Coppin State and LaSalle. Nothing I can do about it now. Coppin did play on opening night. They lost to Maryland 83-61. That wasn't awful here, and obviously enough to take the attention of the bookmakers here, right? It wasn't ever 15, though. Yeah, I think that was a typo, you guys. I think I had it wrong. But no doubt it is an 18-point spread here right now, but I like the under in this one, all right? Yeah, Nuke minus the points. I got you. Ryder and the over, LaSalle and the over for 9 Legacy. There we go. I can figure that much out. And I'll keep it moving here on these games. Southern Indiana and Butler here in this one. The steam did come in on Butler a short time ago before we got on the air, right? This one opened as low as 20 and a half. It's now 23 and a half. So definitely a bit of some steam here with Butler taking on the Screaming Eagles of Southern Indiana. Let me see here. I think I might. Let me see if I'm going to go to the total. I was going to kind of back that steam. I still might do it. In fact, I'm showing some 23 and a halves up there. Oh my goodness. It's 23 and a half. I'm on Butler. They're going to blow these guys out. Come on. They're going to blow them out. It'll be my free play. I'll try to let you know when it's shucks. I'd rather lay it than take it. And that's why I'm going to take it. I'm going to lay it, with Butler. Give me Butler minus 23 and a half here against Southern Indiana in this one. This is just a conference type of mismatch, it feels like to me, if you know what I mean. Let's see here. Butler's won 13 straight over Ohio Valley. Southern Indiana 1-9 last 10 dating back to last year. 5 straight losses on the road. Butler's over in 16 of their last 20 dating back to last season. Give me the Butler Bulldogs in this one. Greg says by 25 here. That's still a Butler cover. I think 9 Legacy likes Southern Indiana and the over. And we do. Hello, we do. So LaSalle and over, Butler and over. Delaware State and Temple in this one. And let's see here. You got both. I think both these teams are making their debuts here, at least against Division I opponents. I didn't make any notes if they played an exhibition game, guys. I'm sorry about that. I did on a few of them here, and I was going to make a joke about it later, but we'll see here. This one, Temple, right now favored here by 18, maybe 17 and a half here in this one, and maybe it's holding steady here a little bit. Temple guard Gavin Griffiths is questionable here in this one. These two teams haven't met since 2021. Temple won at 85-48. That was 133 points in that one because they really couldn't get out of their own way, talking about Delaware State. Now, Delaware State's a little bit better than that nowadays, but I got to go under here. Man, this one's tough. I'm going under here in this one with Delaware State and Temple. Temple's going to smash these guys, actually, aren't they? Probably should take Temple. I think they're going to do it. Okay, let's see if you got a pick here with me. Hello to Apache Storm. Yeah, Terrell, I was trying to pick some of these, actually, right? That's why we do it. Terrell, you've been here all the I don't always go with the marquee matchups on some of these days. We try to cover the whole card a little bit, right? Try to see how these other games are going, when you have these, because we won't have these matchups for very long once we get into conference play. Temple and over. Marist? I don't know what. North Dakota State for Apache Storm. Yeah, good. Thank you, Apache Storm. I didn't have that one in the preview here on the show, so thank you for the pick in that one. And Greg says he's got Temple to win 80-67. That would be Delaware State and under for sure for Greg. That is for sure. That'd be a lock, called what I'd call a lock. Oh, this Muller-Echeverry match is pretty good here, but going to go to a tiebreak in the second set. Echeverry won the first set in a tiebreak. Could he do it in both? I'll take Southern and Marquette. Now, these two teams were definitely in action here so far. Southern lost to Arkansas, 109-77. They did not cover. Marquette beat Albany 80-53. They covered 27.5 points in that one, did the Warriors. The steam already came in here on the over, right? I already mentioned it. It's already through the roof at 155.5, and I can't get away from it. I've already said I'm on the over, so I'm on the over. That's all there is to it. No more waiting, no more handicap. This game opened as low, so caution here. This one opened as low as 148.5. Look, I've already given this out, 155.5. I kind of got to stick with it. Just caution here. This one's already gone up pretty high. The steam continues to roll, by the way. We give out that steam here. You don't hear it all because I'm off the air, right? But you've heard a lot of them here, and I try to recite when the steam comes on, right? So far, the steam this season, the Don Best steam after the first 2 days is 83-57. So hopefully you're catching these moves. They're not my plays. I'm just reciting the line move, right? But this means the sharps are winning, right? At least these, they're not. You might have, if you're playing them straight, you're probably not 87-53. You're more like 83-57 because you're going to miss the line on some of them. But it hasn't been that bad so far, 87-53, and I've already given you plenty of steam here on this show. Hopefully my plays too, but I'm going to go with the over. This one looks a little bit like the one where you could went over Ramon at 155 and it lands 152, but that's all right. We're giving you the move, and I'm still taking it over. Let me fix the graphic though, so it reflects the current line here. There's too many games for me to want to bet, and we don't have the most accurate. Hey, I'm on some sites where my record is plain as day. All right, so you can take it for what it's worth. If you want to keep track of my record, contact me at Ramon Scott Media on X. I do not pay. I will not be paying you. But once we start making $1 million selling these picks like we do at 40 cents a day, I'll pay you. I'm telling you, we got we're growing. I'm up to 65 subscribers at 40 cents a day. You do the math. I know some of you pay more than 40 cents a day when you get those shorter subscriptions. I appreciate it. I appreciate the pizzas, you guys, and keeping me fed. All right, here we go. Southern. So there it is, 155.5. I'm on the over. All right. Yeah, the markets have turned around there, right? We're up today here a little bit. This game's confusing. A little Marquette action. Take him to the woodshed, Marquette. All right, I'm not ready to go that far. I'll take the over, though. I got a couple more here, and we'll get out of here. How about there is the North Dakota State and UC Davis game. Oh, well, heck. We just had I have to give out the total now. We just heard you guys in the chat give out North Dakota State. All right. I better do. I'm going over in this one for sure, you guys. Let me see if I can't break it down here a little bit. Not that I was coming in with a play on the side, but let me go with the over for sure at, I don't think it's 143 anymore here. You'll notice, hey, I might be one of those guys that old Captain Jack was talking about, one of those steam chasers. Did you guys see that? But I don't think I am. I think I'm more, I'm not an originator necessarily, but I'm usually on the sharp side. That's what it is. No, this one's still 143.5, but I'm on the over with, there we go. Let me update it there. There we go. Yeah, there we go. I'm on the over here with the Jackrabbits and the Aggies here tonight. North Dakota State has played a game so far. They played Oregon State. They did lose 67-65 as a dog there in that one, but North Dakota State got that money for sure. So via the over, though, here in this one. That game did go under, by the way, but I want to take the over here with North Dakota State against UC Davis here at Davis tonight. All right, let's see. I think I have one or two more here. I want to get my Davis stats out here, but here we go. Last one. Show's about over. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. Robert was on the over in this one as well. Greg here, I think he likes that one pretty much on. Oh, that's an over for sure for Greg. North Dakota State for we do. And how about North Alabama and Mississippi State? I kind of wanted to touch on this one here with just want to talk about the Bulldogs here a little bit to get the season started here. We can talk about North Alabama too, but more so here Mississippi State. I think they're making their debut here of the season. And let's see here. Oh. Oops. Might have to end the show here the way my computer's going here. All right. Here we go. So North Alabama, 9-4 against the spread, last 13 dating back to last season. Mississippi State's gone over in 6 of their last 8 games at home coming in. They've also gone over in 7 of their last 8 dating back to last year, but I'm on the under in this game for sure. I'm worried here actually about North Alabama's ability to get enough points here. Whether or not Mississippi State can cover, that maybe remains to be seen, but I really prefer the over here. The under here in this one. 25 and 150. Yeah, see, it's down to 152. Spread here, maybe 24.5, 152. And am I on some of these moves here? Yeah, that's how I'm playing it. If you're not, you're probably not winning. I just told you the steam is clicking here at whatever it is, right? A pretty hot percentage. What's that, 63%? See if I got that right. Did the math in my head. And so the moves are clearly winning so far. You would not be wrong to sit there right when the lines come out and almost blindly play the moves, to be honest with you. I don't want you to do that, but that's kind of what it's come down to here the first 2 days of the season. It will not stay like that. These are the days you want to hit it. All right, 67%. Oh, God, that was terrible math on my part. 67% are those steam moves there. And I'm on the under here with North Alabama and Mississippi State at 152. I've got one more loaded up here. How about Eastern Washington and LMU? We said on the show the steam came in on LMU, and I was kind of questioning it. That's because I wanted Eastern Washington in this game when they were getting 6. Now I want them here when they're getting 8.5. Now, LMU usually dominates the Big Sky Conference. They've also won 11 of their last 15 at home. Eastern Washington has not been a good team. They've lost 15 of their last 17 games on the road. They already have a loss this season as well in the season opener against UCLA. But remember, they lost just 80-74. They're still here in LA. They're taking on LMU tonight at Gersten Pavilion. LMU beat Lincoln of California 137-54. So I'm sure they're great. Let me update this spread, though. It's definitely up there. The steam came in on LMU, and I want Eastern Washington. They're not great, but I'm taking them here. I'm taking Eastern Washington. Make no mistake. All right, that is it for the Morning Steam Show. North Alabama for Nine Legacy. Good morning to Flea Mathis. Jay Peasy said, "You're right, Peasy. Got the wrong nickname in there for those Dakotas. I always screw those guys up. South Dakota State Jackrabbits, of course. I mean, North Dakota State's, of course, the Bison. Okay. Alabama, what's this say? Alabama. What's that? The Alabama A&M game? Greg knows his Hank Gathers. Did you guys know that if you watch that video of Hank Gathers, that if you look at the man who is looking to defend Hank Gathers at the rim, Hank Gathers goes up and there's a player right behind him on Portland, number 15, I think. And he goes, that is the Mobley brothers' dad actually playing in that game. Hank Gathers. He dunks the ball. Eric Mobley was right behind him. Didn't make a play or anything, but and then that's when Hank goes back and collapses at center court. And the coach of Portland in that game was Spoelstra, actually. Remember that. Remember watching that. Okay, that's going to do it here for the Morning Steam, and that's it here on the show. All right, we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific with more Morning Steam. Make sure you join Mikey Money here at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific for pre-gaming. Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action. And then I hope we have tonight Sean with the show. I know I said I was going to do a show last night. Still going to wait maybe till we get into a little more heavy action with the league, but I want to do a Tuesday night show. I don't think I told Mikey, so I didn't want to just go on there. I think he wanted me to confirm it. Mikey will do that here, but didn't come with it there. Not coming through with doing my share here on the Sports Money Network. So, but we'll be back. We have, don't forget, BB MMA picks up and ready right now underneath the live tab. And tonight we'll have from the guys. We'll have First Strike. The guys will look at UFC here for Saturday night. Bone Fiend versus Brown at the Apex here this week. BB MMA picks is brought to you by SXBet, the world's largest blockchain betting exchange. Peer-to-peer wagering is changing the game. No house, no heavy juice, just true market odds driven by the players themselves. If you're serious about value and sharp lines and you're in Canada, then go to SXBet. That's where the future of betting is now. And hopefully soon they'll be in the United States. They're everywhere in the world but the United States. SXBet. All right. Get ready here for the drawing right now. But first, let's hear from Mikey Money and the Win Team, the Win Club.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Okay, let's do our little giveaway here. We got 30 entries here. Someone's going to win 1 month of my winnable plays. Hopefully they're better than those 3 college plays yesterday. Here I am bragging about all these winners. I could read you a bunch of winners on all these shows I had yesterday, and even my high roller boutique plays, I swept the board. But got to come with it here. You guys are paying me good money to get these best plays out to you. Terrell turning back the clock here. I went to, you won't believe this, but I went to Sportscasters Camp for several years at Loyola Marymount. And I just happened to get paired at a baseball broadcast. It's not a real broadcast. Back then we had headset. It was plugged into a cassette tape. But I was paired with Hank Gathers. And we were broadcasting a game between the Angels and the Tigers. And they said, do you want to interview Bo Belinsky? He was an Angels player who said no hit, he had a no-hitter. Or I said, I don't want to interview Bo Belinsky. I want to interview Hank Gathers. Do you guys know who this guy is? But catcher got hit right where it counted. And the ball hit him there, and we're supposed to be doing a broadcast, right? And I'm broadcasting, and Hank is the color comment. And he says, just like I thought, Ramon, it got him in the balls. Hank Gathers was a very funny young man. I was a young man, too. We were both just late teenagers, I think. He might have been 20. Okay. Let's do the drawing here right now. And here we go. Nasty Nate, Cash Kane. Dave was in there. Laker Boy. Fernando Mendoza. Derek. Bruce Green. It was Jimmy. It's always been Jimmy, isn't it? And there's Jimmy's grandson. I think he's a grandson in that Bulldogs uniform, that purple and gold. I think it's purple and gold. It might be purple. It might be blue. But Jimmy, thank you. And I'll give him another month of subscription. So thanks a lot, you guys, for joining me here on the Morning Steam. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. And hopefully Sean's here tonight. I'm just not sure. I didn't check. But thank you for joining us here today on the Morning Steam. And for the Sports Money Network, enjoy this Champions League. I'm going to try again, even though I didn't have a great Champions League card there yesterday. But I'm coming at you. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. Ramon Scott, sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.